Bodhicitta, and great compassion.
Hello, welcome to the show. Today, we're going to take a look at a very interesting discussion summary about Bodhicitta and great compassion. This material is a dialogue between a master and a disciple, delving deeply into Bodhicitta in Buddhism and why great compassion is so important. Our goal is to help you grasp some key points. There's a statement in it that I found quite intriguing. It says that as long as you have great compassion, even the so-called demons won't be able to harm you. They might even end up protecting you. This sounds a bit far-fetched. What's going on here exactly? Let's take a closer look. The dialogue mentions that when great compassion arises, it's like a very angry warrior growing sores on his forehead. The bodhicitta naturally comes about. And as long as this heart remains, worldly demons and evil beings cannot harm you. Where does this protection come from? The underlying principle can be understood this way. When your heart is full of great compassion, the wish to eradicate all beings suffering and bring them happiness, you hold only a mind of benefit toward all living beings, including those we might call demons, that is, the forces or beings that obstruct practice or bring pain. You only wish to help them? Exactly. Since toward them you harbor only goodwill and no harm, naturally they lose any reason to hurt you. They might even come to see your presence as helpful and beneficial. This highlights that such selfless, altruistic intention itself can dissolve hostility and create a fundamental protection. This explanation makes much more sense. It's not some supernatural force-blocking harm, but rather your transformed motivation changes your relationship with these beings. The next metaphor involves learning archery. It says you must first stand firmly before you can properly learn the technique, establishing the feet first, then learning the method. Is this similar to learning Dharma, where you must first stabilize bodhicitta? Yes, exactly. This metaphor perfectly points out the importance of foundation. Stabilizing bodhicitta is not just a fleeting thought of wanting to benefit beings. It requires continued, steady placement of your mind on the goal of pursuing the ultimate enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, with ongoing effort. So the key is not only initiating the thought, but abiding in it with persistence and stability. Just like in archery, if your feet aren't steady, your aiming and shooting will be off. Thus, bodhicitta is not only a preparatory step, but underpins the entire practice process and serves as a guiding direction. Without it, no matter how much you do, you may deviate from the ultimate goal. So abiding is a continuous practice. The material then uses the example of an archery master's disciples. Though their skills might not match the master's yet, their wisdom and methods, called skillful means, already surpass ordinary people. Is this saying that even someone who has just begun to generate bodhicitta is already very different? Exactly. Think about what the goal of bodhicitta is: to become a Buddha, to attain Buddhahood, the unsurpassed, perfect, complete enlightenment. This realm involves the most comprehensive and thorough understanding of all phenomena in the universe, the ultimate awakening. This goal is so much broader and grander than those who seek only personal liberation, what we call the Shravakas or Pratyeka Buddhas, the two vehicles, like arhats. So even a beginner bodhisattva on the learning path, who might not yet fully understand many things, because of the vow they set, the wisdom they pursue, the depth of their understanding, and their inner drive, are all directed toward the ultimate goal. Their potential and level from the start are already beyond the self-improvement level. Therefore, the difference in goal setting marks a different starting state. The final metaphor compares to an illusionist. Before performing magic, the illusionist must first form an intention and plan out what to transform. They take up the intention, the mental retention of the illusion method, before manifesting the illusion. What does this have to do with bodhicitta? This metaphor emphasizes that generating the aspiration, the bodhicitta, is the fundamental starting point of all. Just like magic needs that original intention and blueprint, similarly, to attain Buddhahood with vast wisdom and abilities, the initial impulse must come from the vow to achieve enlightenment for the sake of all beings, the Bodhicitta aspiration. This generating mind is your genuine, proactive heart, moving toward the ultimate goal you desire to realize. Without this initial intention, all the merit, cultivation, and final attainment would have no origin. It is like the spark that ignites the engine. In summary, this dialogue teaches us that bodhicitta and great compassion are not just lofty ideals. Together, they become practical and powerful forces. Great compassion brings protection, and bodhicitta establishes the foundation and direction of practice, setting a transcendent goal from the outset. You could say this aspiration is the source and lifeblood of all action. Absolutely. Moreover, at the end of the discussion, a very thought-provoking point is made. Sometimes, even people who have committed extremely grave negative karma, such as the 5 heinous crimes, panka anantarika karma, considered among the most serious offenses in Buddhism, these individuals sometimes more easily generate the bodhicitta aspiration to pursue unsurpassed enlightenment than certain very pure Shravakas. Why is that? This is fascinating, perhaps, because they have a deeper, more first-hand experience of suffering. They develop a stronger desire to completely transform and eradicate suffering for themselves and others. This raises an interesting question for your reflection. What is the tension or relationship between a pure state and the immense latent potential to radically transform life? How are they related? This might be worth your deeper contemplation.